Hi, my name is Bala Paranj, and in this screencast, I will walk you through how to use attachment foo plugin developed by Rick Olsen and see how easy it is to upload files in Rails. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to create a new project for this, and I'm going to call this as a postcard. It's Web 2.0 postcard web app. Next killer app. Okay, now let's go ahead. Before you install the plugin, you need to know you have to have image processor installed on your machine. I'll give some instructions on the blog so you can follow that instruction, but I won't be covering that part here. I'll just take off from where the plugin installation starts and how we can use it in your app. Things you need to watch out for and so on, okay? Okay, this README comes up with a really good explanation of what the options are and what you can do with them and so on. It's really straightforward. Right now I'm going to create a scaffold for postcard. It'll create controllers, views, and model that we can use. We'll have some editing for displaying image purposes, and we also have the migration file that will actually handle the file upload and save all the fields required for the image. I'm just going to cheat here, okay? I'll just copy paste the migration file, the Rails 2.0 style thing here. Okay, so we have a string which is a title which is of type string. That's the one which is going to say the postcard as a title, and the rest of these, all these fields are related to the attachment foo plugin. Parent ID, content type, file name, thumbnail, size, width, height, everything is used by the plugin, and it expects these fields to be there in order for the plugin to work. Now we can go ahead and open up the model and have the declaration that will allow us to use the attachment foo plugin. So postcard, here we'll declare the required declarations are has attachment as a content type which is of type image, and storage is file system. You can use S3. It's very easy. You can just define Amazon S3.yml under config directory and provide your account information, and everything will, you know, just magically work. It's very easy to use. Okay, now some of these fields, like maximum size, is the maximum size allowed. It defaults to 1 MB if you don't provide anything. A minimum size also is there, and if you provide the min size as a hash parameter, minimum size allowed, it defaults to 1 byte. And the content type is basically, the content types that are allowed. It defaults to all content types. Using image here allows all standard image types. Now we have resize to option. It's an array with height values with geometry string for resizing the image. And thumbnail, a set of thumbnails to generate specified by a hash of file name, suffixes, and resizing options. This option can be omitted if you don't need thumbnails, and you can generate more than one thumbnail simply by adding names and sizes to the hash. Okay, but we'll just create a simple app and see how the overall thing works, and you can always play with the options and see how it affects the overall functionality. Okay, now the generated views, we need to add the field for the image. So we can do that. Views index. Right now it only has this. I'm going to cheat a little bit here and just get. We don't need the table structure and all that. We don't. Let's make it simple. We'll just have a title and then you'll have the image tag. And I'll briefly explain what those things are in a moment. Let's go ahead and for the show action, we'll have, yeah, we'll have not only the title, we'll also display the image. Okay, and we have the migration file which is ready that we can run, and the postcards controller that we have already grabs all the postcards from the database so we can loop through them and display them and we can show them. And in the new view there are some changes that needs to be done, and let's see what those things are. Okay, in the new, basically the changes for a file upload is you need to have multi-part true. I'm just using all the generated paths and so on. I'm not going to go into those the details of those things, but I'm going to focus on things that you need to know to get this upload thing working. So you need to have this in the form, and you will use upload a postcard image, and this, let's say, postcard image. Okay, postcard, and then you'll have a file field, uploaded data. The file field is the one which will give you the text field, and the next to that will be browse, and you'll have a file chooser, and you can choose the file on your local system, and when you click on create, it gets uploaded, and attachment foo takes care of everything for you. So it's really easy. So let's run the migration. Let's create the database first, postcard underscore development, and then we'll create the tables called postcards. Okay, migrate. Okay, now let's bring up the server and see what we have. Let's go to localhost. Okay, we'll just ignore it. We'll just go to products and say no postcards. New. I want to create a new postcard that will load the form in the new.html.erb file. Let's say I just want to say test, and I can browse, and let's say on the desktop I'll pick something. Let me pick this image and create. There it is. This is the thumbnail, and if you click on this, it'll going to go to the show. So you can vary the size of the images by changing them in the options, and you can create a photo album kind of a thing if you want to, if you have the right CSS. And that's it. And if you want to have Amazon S3, you just create the Amazon S3 YAML and the config, and also need to have the gem for Amazon S3. Just need to do sudo gem install AWS -S3, and everything will work. And right now things are stored in the file system. So public images, it's basically would go underneath one of those directories since it uses the file system. Okay, that's all for this screencast, and I hope you enjoyed this. Right there, there it is. So it'll create all image thumbs and the actual size of the image. Everything will be stored here. So that's it for this screencast, and if you enjoyed it, please recommend me on Working with Rails. See you next time.